You are about to discover the untold story of one of the most beautiful and fearless actresses who ever graced the big screen. This woman left audiences completely speechless, directors begging for her attention, and critics running out of words to describe her. She turned down one of the biggest movie roles in Hollywood history, posed completely bare with a fish in her hands for a cause she believed in, and once shocked the entire world with a personal decision that made international headlines. If you think you know everything about the bold and breathtaking Greta Scacchi, trust me, you do not. Make sure you stay all the way to the end of this video because the last part of her story is the one nobody saw coming. Let us start from the very beginning. Greta Scacchi was born in Milan, Italy, to an Italian father and an English mother. Her childhood was not exactly the fairy tale people might imagine for a future movie star. When she was just 4 years old, her parents divorced. Her mother packed up and took Greta and her 2 older brothers back to England, first to London and then to a small town in West Sussex. It was a quiet life, far removed from the glitz and glamour that would eventually define her career. Then things changed again. When Greta was a teenager, her mother remarried, and the whole family moved all the way to Perth, Australia. Imagine being uprooted like that as a young person, going from England to the other side of the world. But here is the thing about Greta. She did not let the change break her. She embraced it. She joined a drama society at the University of Western Australia and made her very first appearance on stage in a play by Edward Bond. Something clicked inside her. She knew this was what she was meant to do. So at just 18 years old, she packed her bags once more and headed back to England to study at the famous Bristol Old Vic Theatre School, one of the most respected acting schools in the world. After training, Greta did not waste any time. She landed her first television role in a British detective show and quickly followed that up with a small part in a German film. But her real breakthrough came when she starred in the romantic drama Heat and Dust alongside legends like Julie Christie. Her performance was so stunning that she earned a nomination for the prestigious BAFTA Award for Best Newcomer. Just like that, the world knew her name. What happened next was a whirlwind. Hollywood came calling, and Greta answered. She starred in White Mischief, a film set in colonial Kenya that put her beauty and talent front and center. Then came Presumed Innocent alongside Harrison Ford, one of the biggest box office hits of its time. She followed that with The Player, directed by the legendary Robert Altman. Film after film, Greta proved she was more than just a pretty face. She could act, and she could act brilliantly. She spoke 4 languages fluently: English, French, German, and Italian, which made directors across Europe desperate to work with her. But here is where Greta's story gets really interesting. At the height of her fame, she was offered the role of Catherine Trammell in Basic Instinct. Yes, that role. The one that turned Sharon Stone into a global superstar overnight. Greta turned it down. She walked away from what would become one of the most talked about films of the decade. She later admitted that throughout her career, she felt she was always being asked to play a male fantasy. She said she had to fight hard to bring real depth and integrity to her characters, especially when she felt trapped inside what she called the male gaze. That takes real courage, especially in an industry that rewards people who just go along with the program. And yet, Greta was never afraid to be bold on her own terms. She appeared in daring and provocative scenes in several of her films because the stories demanded it and because she believed in the art. She did not shy away from challenging roles that required vulnerability. In the film Salt on Our Skin, she delivered one of the most raw and unforgettable performances of her career. She was fearless, but always on her own terms, never because someone pressured her into it. Then in the mid-90s, Greta did something that silenced every critic who ever doubted her range. She played Empress Alexandra in the television film Rasputin, Dark Servant of Destiny. Her performance was so powerful that she won an Emmy Award and was nominated for a Golden Globe. This was not just a win for her career. It was a statement. She proved she could dominate the big screen and the small screen with equal force. But the moment that truly stunned the world came in her personal life. Greta began a relationship with her first cousin, Carlo Mantegazza. They had a son together. When this became public, the media went into an absolute frenzy. The headlines were brutal, and the judgment was harsh. But Greta handled it all with a grace and calmness that very few people could manage. She never apologized. She never hid. She simply lived her life. And she kept working. She starred in the beloved Australian film Looking for Ali Brandy and won the Australian Film Institute Award for Best Supporting Actress. She appeared in Flight Plan alongside Jodie Foster. She took on roles in major television series and continued performing on stage in some of the most prestigious theatres in London, Sydney, and Paris. In one remarkable moment, she stepped in to replace an injured Kristen Scott Thomas in a Stephen Sondheim musical in Paris and brought the house down singing Send in the Clowns. If this story amazed you and you learned something new about the incredible Greta Scacchi, do me a huge favor and smash that like button right now. Drop a comment below and let me know which part of her life surprised you the most. And if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss another video like this one. I promise you, the stories we bring here will always leave you stunned.